So, again, what you being a coward about? Why are you not stepping up as a man and stepping up as a woman and addressing the things that need to be addressed? Because you're afraid to lose something? You're afraid to lose the petty material things you have that you can't take with you anyway when you dead, and the things that you think you own that you really don't own, and all the things that they put on you to have the privilege to say that you own that, like a car, like you gotta have so much. You know what's a funny thing? I gotta say this. Think about it for a minute. They say for you to own a car and to drive a car and have a license to drive a car around is a privilege, not a right. Do you know right now the state of Louisiana is actually canceling people's driver's license, fishing license, hunting license, and any other type of license that the state issues if you don't pony up and pay the state income tax they say you owe, or if you're delinquent, or if you haven't done the prerequisite of doing the filing of the tax returns that they say you should have filed and should be reporting a certain amount on those returns. That's what's going on. So think about that for a minute. So the things that you're trying to protect that you are afraid to lose because you're a coward, because you don't want to speak up, because you think, oh, I'm gonna lose something. I'm gonna lose something, man. Well, guess what? You can lose it anyway, based upon what's already been superimposed upon you the way it is. That's just a fact. So, in this man's humble opinion, I guess some people might say humble. Yeah, but it is a humble opinion. Because again, like I'm saying, I speak from passion, I speak from deep within, I speak from within the heart, okay, about these things. There's a lot of suffering going on out here in our city, a lot of suffering of black people, and a lot of other black people just don't care about that, let alone the other people who are not black who don't care about it. So what I'm saying is it needs to be a tectonic plate shift in the thinking of how we approach what we need to do as far as addressing issues that need to be addressed, and not worried about and quit being cowards and worry about how people gonna interpret what you say. Oh, they're gonna talk about me in my job. Oh, I might lose my job. Oh, I might lose this. I might lose that. So what? So what? Because if you lose it because you're doing something right, I mean, you didn't need it in the first place. It wasn't that valuable in the first place. Think about that for a second. So don't be a coward. I mean, I'm not saying don't be intelligent about what you address. You have to address things. You don't grow up. You don't walk up to your boss, grab her by the throat, and tell her, "Look, boss, whatever, whatever." No, you don't do that. You do it in a very intelligent, a very uh, practical and common sense way, but you address an issue. And I'm using the boss for example because a lot of times on jobs, and especially in jobs that are governmental jobs and jobs that are dealing in corporate America, you know, people just make up their mind. Oh, I'm just gonna eat up all this BS, and I'm gonna take all this, bull crap because I've arrived. I'm on the corporate scene. You know, I got my BMW out there in the parking garage, or I got my $100,000 salary plus with benefits and all that. Oh man, I made it. So you willing to sell everything that's holy about you to keep that when you know other things need to be addressed directly, and so you don't address them. You be a coward about it. You don't even have the decency to step up with the resources you do have to help those who don't have nothing, to correct and justify what is wrong. So it's not a happy message I'm bringing about that, because I mean, I'm telling you, there's a lot of cowards out there, and on a lot of different levels. You know, I look at the levels of employees that are working, in City Hall. I look at employees that are workers that are working in state government. I look at employees that are working in federal government. Okay, that they are aware of things that are going on, that's happening to people, but they won't even speak up. Even the ones that's protected with civil services still won't even speak up. You know, and it's like almost impossible to fire somebody from a civil service position these days unless they wind up walking in a place with a gun or something and shooting somebody. And then they might not get fired. They're gonna have administrative hearing and all this other kind of stuff. Point is, well, I mean, you will get arrested, but you know, it's hard to fire a civil service employee on any level, federal, state, or local. But I'm finding out, and I'm seeing more examples of in the federal government how they're knocking off people left and right who are actually trying to be what they call whistleblowers, trying to bring attention to some things that they know is unjust and they know is wrong. And they can in these individuals left and right. But then you know what? At the end of the process, whatever that man or that woman went through, as far as being a whistleblower or trying to uncover something that they knew was bad in their heart and in their soul, and in the eyes of the Almighty, guess what? You haven't lost a thing. I mean, the material things that they took from you is just BS anyway. Because it's going to be outdated and outmoded anyway. You got that 2012 just coming off the line BMW, and another year and a half, less than a year, it's not even going to be worth half of what you're paying for it. And I say paying for it because a lot of folks don't come out there and just plunk down the full price for these vehicles. And I'm just using the BMW for example. I'm talking about it could be anything else. Escalade, any kind of vehicle, don't matter. It ain't going to be worth what you are putting out for it anyway. So think about what you are evaluating your own inner self, your constitution, your inner soul for. BS. So look at it from a different perspective. When you see something that's not right, when you see something that you know is affecting people in a very negative way, especially people who are the weakest of us, who don't really understand what's going on, don't have the wherewithal or the education to really address it. They just accept it because they're powerless. And if you see that needs to be addressed, then you need to be a man, and you need to be a woman, and you need to step up and look at that. So, to put a close on cowards, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I will wrap up this particular topic of cowards in our society, in New Orleans, in Louisiana, and in our nation. I'm your host, Joe Jones, for Unapologetic 504 Black Network TV. We will be right back.